At long last, the LEGO Pokemon playsets have finally arrived. Well, they technically are all Smart Play compatible sets, but we'll get to that in a little bit. While I have to admit that I wasn't initially all that excited when this wave of sets was revealed, curiosity did get the better of me in the end, so I picked up a couple of sets to see how they turned out. Bulbasaur is my all-time favourite Pokemon, so I always knew that the Berry Bash with Bulbasaur and Bidoof set was going to be the first set that I would build. I think it's pretty fair to say that the least appealing aspect of this set is definitely the two side builds, which consist of a tree adorning some berries, as well as this, well, I'm not actually entirely sure what this thing is called. I think it's meant to be a smoothie maker, allowing you to blend the various berries included with this set to make a smoothie for your Pokemon to enjoy. Younger builders may well get some good enjoyment out of the spinning function used to make the smoothie, and the berry tree adds a nice little bit of scenery for your Pokemon to interact with. These two side builds are nothing to write home about for me personally, but they're nice enough little inclusions for what they are. The real attraction here, of course, is the pair of Pokemon included in this set. Bidoof has never been a Pokemon that I've ever honestly had any appreciation for, but I do think that LEGO did a really good job of translating it into brick built form. Bidoof's design suits the inherently blocky nature of LEGO quite well, and I really like the pieces chosen to replicate the lumps and bumps on its fur. I also think that the colours chosen for Bidoof are a great match to its design, and the printed face piece is likewise excellent. Overall, I don't think that LEGO could have really done much better with Bidoof's design at this scale and style. Bulbasaur, on the other hand, is my favourite Pokemon, so the big question I had going into this set was whether or not LEGO had managed to make what I would consider to be a great brick built Bulbasaur. The shade of blue LEGO decided to go with here is a perfect match in my eyes as to how Bulbasaur should look, as is the colour chosen for the little spots seen across his body, and all of the printing on the face here is great, just like on Bidoof. The cheese slopes used for his ears are a neat touch, and I love the printed details for his little feet. Despite the obvious challenges presented by the rounded and smooth design of the bulb on Bulbasaur's back, I think it ended up looking really nice here. I do like the fact that the bulb can be spun around, but it can also sometimes manage to detach itself when you spin it, so that's just something to keep in mind when playing around with Bulbasaur. Speaking of play, I think that the approach that LEGO took for these Pokemon in terms of their shaping and size was the best thing that they could have done for the sake of play value. While I know that some people would have much preferred smaller, uniquely molded Pokemon similar to what LEGO does for smaller animals to have been the approach taken here, I personally think that this blockier design is far better in terms of play. While the molded Eevee and Pikachu featured in the Pokeball set do have their own charm to them for sure, the size and shaping of Bulbasaur and Bidoof make it incredibly easy to pick these two up and play around with them. They're not quite as large as a Brickhead, but I think that their size and blocky shape strikes the perfect balance between being easy enough to play with for younger builders while still making a nice display piece that doesn't demand as much space as the display focus sets released so far. I did actually review the larger Eevee set when it released, which I'll leave linked on screen at the end of this video in case you'd like to watch it. This is of course a Smart Play compatible set, and I just so happen to own two Smart Bricks, so I was able to test out the smart aspect to it. I do plan to go more in depth on the Smart Play aspect to the Pokemon sets in a future video, so do be sure to let me know if that's a video you'd like to see in the comments below. Strictly speaking about this set, I think that LEGO have actually done a pretty good job of integrating Smart Play. The Smart Bricks are pretty easy to place inside of both Bidoof and Bulbasaur, and I don't think that they really detract visually from their builds. Once the Smart Bricks are placed, they will react to the Smart Tag tile pieces in each of the Pokemon and start to make sounds, which, while I do wish they were more accurate to the actual sounds of the Pokemon in question, I think that they're okay. There's a variety of sounds that the Smart Bricks can produce. General chatter between the Pokemon. Walking. Even sleeping, which admittedly is my personal favourite out of the bunch. There was admittedly, at least initially, a real sense of novelty to making two LEGO builds have a Pokemon battle, and I like how the Smart Bricks make use of colours to indicate how the battle is going. The loser sounding annoyed at the end of the battle is also a really nice touch. Overall, while I think that the Smart Play element is well integrated within this set, it's absolutely not a must by any means, especially given the cost involved if you want to pick up two of the Smart Bricks. I personally don't think that the invention of the Smart Brick is the worst thing ever in the history of mankind, and I can understand some of the motivation behind bringing the Smart Play concept to market from LEGO's perspective. The target audience for Smart Play is obviously younger LEGO fans, and while I am most certainly not part of that audience these days, I think that 7-year-old Dave definitely would have gotten some enjoyment out of the sounds and play options that the Smart Bricks offer in this set. I did happen to visit the LEGO store in Liverpool recently, and the Smart Play demo station that was set up in there for the Pokemon sets had kids going crazy for the chance to play with the Smart Bricks, so there is undoubtedly a real appeal there for younger LEGO fans. The cost involved with getting Smart Bricks currently is definitely a barrier to entry for those younger fans, so hopefully LEGO releases a cheaper entry-level Smart Brick set in the future. The best praise that I can give this set is that despite being marketed as a Smart Play compatible set, it's still a good playset without making use of any Smart Bricks in its own right, which is exactly how I think all Smart Play sets should be. Regardless of whether or not you do have some Smart Bricks, just like any other LEGO set out there, the best thing that you can combine with this set is your own imagination. In terms of the price, this set retails for €20, which I actually think is a pretty decent price for what you're getting here. The Pokemon themselves make for nice display pieces, and most importantly from my point of view, this set offers kids a great opportunity to get their hands on LEGO Pokemon at a pretty affordable price. Overall, I would recommend picking this set up even at its full price. So that's it for my thoughts on the LEGO Pokemon Berry Bash with Bulbasaur and Bidoof set. If you have stuck around to this point of the video, I would like to thank you very much for watching, and if you did enjoy watching this video and would like to see more videos from my channel, then please do leave this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already so you won't miss out on more LEGO reviews just like this one. With all of that being said, I've been Dave, and I hope that you have a great day.